One of the number one reasons that I voted for him is that I am over the old guard Democratic establishment who has been in control and had power for way too long.
Cuomo just conceded. Zohran Mamdani he won the primary at least. All right.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up. Hi, this is Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. John Farina and I are on the ground in Manhattan outside of a DSA watch party for the New York City mayor election tonight.
You know, we all stand for the same values. We want to make our cities more affordable for the working class, tax the rich because they can afford it. We
just got the news that it looks like Zohran might have won the primary. How do you feel right now?
I feel elated, honestly. I am a native New Yorker from Brooklyn, and I feel like our city's leadership has been failing us for so long, and I'm so excited by Zohran's positive, hopeful, optimistic vision for a better city.
That's wonderful. I guess I would ask, what of his policies resonates with you the most?
That's a great question. I think that for me, what we've seen under Eric Adams is years and years of austerity budgets where we act like we don't have the money to fund social services, schools, trains, really critical things that people use every single day. And Zohran is telling the truth when he says we do actually have the money to fund them, and we can fund them even more if we tax the rich, which is something that a vast majority of New Yorkers and Americans support, and it's really, it should be a no-brainer. So unfortunately, you've been deceived and lied to for a really long time, and it's really unfortunate that all of these solutions that are actually really easy to implement haven't been implemented. We've been cheated. A lot of people don't believe in the political system for a reason, and hopefully I think this is a turn in the better direction.
There is so much cheering from inside. I'm going to hold on to you. Jordan, our main reporter, is calling me right now. Hello.
I might go, let me see.
Cuomo just conceded. Okay. I lost Adriana, but I'm on the phone with Jordan. Cuomo just conceded the race. That is the cheering inside. I will let you go. Cuomo just conceded. Zohran Mamdani he won the primary at least. All right. So, okay, this is the crowd in Manhattan as Zohran Mamdani just won the primary.
Yes.
So, how do you guys feel right now?
I'm excited. I think that this shows that real change is possible. This is the win we really needed. I think it, is bringing inspiration to a lot of people. Just really happy, as you can hear.
I think a lot of us young kids saw what happened with Bernie, and we didn't want that to happen again. We didn't want the Democrats to take an actual viable candidate for the people and push them out of the primaries again.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried. They were pushing last-minute money into Cuomo, and
the racist campaigns against him, the advertisements was insane, but we showed out in millions, and, we really got the job done.
Tonight is evidence that organizing, canvassing, phone banking, all the things that you guys showed up to do, it gets results.
Yeah, it's really showing the Democrats how to run a campaign that appeals to the masses, a populist campaign, and hopefully, they take notes, and yeah, it's just really exciting.
I think the most important thing we can take away from today is that the campaign doesn't end just because we won the primary. I think keep organizing, join local groups around your community, keep spreading the message, tell people about Zohran, really get to know his policies and spread them around, because the real push is going to come in November.
You can help us to do more of this by becoming a member for as little as $5 a month, 16 cents a day. It is not much. If you want to see more coverage like this, of rallies, of what's happening on the ground, what's happening with the DSA right now, which just won an election for mayor of New York City. That was because of all the people on the ground, the working people of New York City, the people that we try to show you what they're doing, show you, let you hear their voices, what their concerns are. We need your help to do that. You can support us. You can support independent journalism by becoming a member at statuscoup.com/join. Zohran just he won the primary. How do you feel?
Oh my God, I'm so excited and honestly very, very pleasantly surprised. I gotta admit, like earlier this morning, I was at the voting poll of the place, and I saw a lot of like older people, not a lot of young people out there who I know are the most mobilized demographic for Zohran, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it happened, and I'm so excited, and I feel like this is like great news for the city.
I agree. What about him excites you the most? Is it his policy? Is it his social media game? What is it about Zohran that makes you excited about politics and being involved and voting and all of that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I've always been involved in politics, but I think like this campaign uniquely activated the younger demographic in a way that I feel like a lot of other Democratic candidates haven't been able to do successfully. So I feel excited that like hopefully this is just like the start of a movement maybe, and like it's like hope for the future of the Democrats in America and more mobilization in the future and more people getting involved in politics. A lot of my friends who've never voted before voted for the first time in this election, and this is awesome news, and I was really happy.
Dude, were you at the watch party right now?
No,
you were
finished dinner and we walked by and I was like, what is this? Is this like a pride event or something? But no, I just found out from these people over here that Cuomo was just conceded, and I'm so happy. We were just discussing at dinner. I was like, I wonder what's happening with the election.
I don't know if anyone expected it to be like called this early and to be this decisive. So I think that really shows like people of my generation coming out to vote. Like I could just see all over social media talking to my friends. Like people are really engaged in this election, even more than like some previous like presidential elections. So for that to be like, you know, a primary in the hottest day of summer, just on and off here is pretty, it gives me hope for like, just like the general political engagement of like my peers.
How excited are you right now?
I'm pretty excited. I don't know how to quantify it because I was petitioning in the middle of winter for this campaign when it had no polling percentage. It was like 2 or 3%, and we just fucking won. So, and I spent like the last 2 weeks doing it every second of free time I had. So it's pretty exciting. I don't know what to say.
I think it's very burning that a lot of New Yorkers came out, multicultural specs. If I look around here, there's so many different colors, so many different like religious people. Like it is very empowering to see this. You would never see this at a Como party. You would never see this at whatever party. This tells you that he is resigning with, he's residing with a lot of people. A lot of people came for him. If you look at a party and it's this multicultural, you did something right as a Muslim man, okay? Muslim brown man. This is a win for you. And I'm very proud of him for doing all of this. And it makes me proud to be Muslim brown, Yemeni, Arab American, queer woman.
No, but I appreciate it.
I was watching you from home and I decided to walk down.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's awesome. I'm Ashley.
I'm Carol.
Carol, nice to meet you. That's really sweet, Carol.
I was channel surfing for live coverage on YouTube, and I stayed with you. I quit surfing after that.
That's awesome. I appreciate that so much. I am so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear people are watching.
So excited about Zohran Mamdani. And the turnout and the early coverage I heard was men really turned out, which they said was unusual. And I'm glad for any group that turns out more than, they used to. I canvassed a little bit, but I just wanted to be the face. I'm in my 70s, and I just want you to know that there are people my age and older. When I canvassed, I met an 82-year-old man, and he said, "Oh, I'm going out," and he had a walker, and he's behind Zohran, but so I guess a lot of people just don't come to places like this. I don't know, but they're out there, and I was compelled to share that. And there are people that have a conscience and are well informed, as much as it doesn't seem that way some of the time. But anyway, I'm very excited about the outcome.
the political establishment line has kind of been that it's only young people who are coming out to vote. It's only, fringe leftists who have really upheld this campaign. And clearly that is not true. You are just as enthusiastic about the...
For you and whoever is tuning in to know that. I've been passionate about politics. I was talking to your producer over there. I forgot what number amendment that allowed 18-year-olds to vote. It was passed in 1971. The next presidential election was 1972, in which I was 18, and I couldn't wait to vote. So I've been passionate about, social change, positive social change. And it was the height of the Vietnam War, very unpopular war. There was a lot going on. And so I've never lost that. And so when Zohran got my attention, I had to, step up.
I consider myself an economic populist, and that's a priority. I don't really think of much else beyond that. Sort of like the old Bernie, like if everyone's needs are being met, then everyone's needs are being met. Really, that's the reality. So, if everyone has all their economic needs are met, and you have a stronger society, and I truly believe in that. And you can call it socialism, you can call it what you like. I don't know, but maybe it's some socialism. But when everyone has what they need, that's probably is socialism in a way. Everyone's sharing taxes. And Bernie said once, April 15th should be a day of celebration, where we all can get together, put our money together, and decide what we want to do with it. And that's what I really believe in. I did not rank Cuomo. I really hate the man. I actually met the man and have a very long story about him, but just say he's a creep.
One of the number one reasons that I voted for him is that I am over the old guard Democratic establishment who has been in control and had power for way too long. They won't even be alive to see the impacts of the policies they're enacting on all of us younger generations right now. And they need to cede their power and give those spaces to young people that actually know what's going on and will live to deal with the consequences of their actions.
As myself, a Jewish New Yorker, I think it's so important that we have a Jewish politician who is standing behind a Muslim politician, and they're speaking explicitly about the fact that working class people in this city, their interests are aligned, and we're not going to let these politicians drive wedges between different racial groups with this bullshit.
It's great that politicians are recognizing that they need to follow DSA's lead. It's great. I love to hear that. Love to see it, right? But ultimately, what's actually important is that the politicians are connected to a movement that has the ability to keep them accountable, that there is a real relationship there, so that it is workers' needs, right? It is us as workers that are able to dictate what the policy looks like, what the agenda is, that there's a relationship there that can encourage accountability. And ultimately, we as workers have to have the power to be able to say, hey, politicians, do what we say, or you don't get to continue having the status that you get to hold.